board is a gift for Dad from his daughter.
Once we get sheet metal on this will all tie in. It'll look real clean. We're going with aluminum and walnut.
This will make it so that the bed will articulate up and down. These are the candy colors, right?
Really gonna make that truck pop. Mirror finish.
The new Coyote engine is gonna give this truck a lot more power.
It's gonna start, right, Matt?
Oh my God! I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal.
Well, I know you're here to get an update on something, but finally all that chrome showed up.
Man, about time, right?
Yeah.
That's definitely a slow process. You can't get that fast.
I mean, that's a good thing. So another good thing is I've been here almost about 2 years now.
Already?
That's what I said. I mean,
man,
it felt like we just started here.
Yeah.
And what a wild ride it's been.
2 years, man. What's been your favorite build so far?
Man, there's been a couple. The Tinker truck we did last year, that was pretty awesome. You know, that was the first one I got, thrown at the wolves with, and seeing that thing as big as it was coming in here, you guys doing that air ride suspension on it, and just really taking that truck over the top. But since then, there's been so many different builds. I guess sitting right now that I really like that 53 tow truck. That thing.
Yeah.
When that thing came in, I didn't know to get you guys tetanus shots or a new truck. I mean, but then what you guys did to that bed, that frame, I've never seen anything like that.
You had any easy ones?
I haven't had any easy ones.
I don't think I ever had either. Speaking of the latest challenge, the 49 Ford. Huge project. This is one of those projects that I was kind of iffy of taking it in or not when it came in. As bad shape as it was, sitting on the trailer out there. But getting it into the shop and getting it all tore apart, getting it blasted, getting it back, which is always kind of nervous.
You don't know what you're going to end up with.
Yeah, man, but it was in fairly decent shape. From that, building a new custom chassis, granite rear suspension, and with it, first for us.
That engine with that rear suspension, man, it's...
Putting that Coyote in an engine trans, it's going to be a good running truck too, man. It's been a long project.
Oh, I know, yeah.
But, we're in home stretch now. Building the bed floor, we still have to do that. Build running boards, paint and body. On this one, it's going to be a candy paint. It has to be.
That'll make it stand out.
Definitely, man. And then once that's all done, of course, John's got to do his thing.
That candy paint, chrome, John's interior. This might just be my favorite build, though.
It's going to be beautiful, trust. I'll tell you what, one of the last things we need is wheels. And there's going to be a whole lot of other stuff, though, too, man. So get ready.
Yeah, well, whatever it's going to take to get this through the finish line, man. Whatever parts and, all that.
Man, don't make us wait on you again. We've done a ton of metal work to this truck already, but we still have a few more custom pieces left. One of those is a custom running board that'll just go with the overall look of the truck. And Ryan and Dustin are finishing that up right now.
So we got our running board this far, and now we got a real good idea of what it's going to look like and the route we want to go. It wasn't enough, so then we brought this little piece in, gave it a little bit of flow, to go into the outside of the fenders like we want. Now, once we get sheet metal on this will all tie in. It'll look real good, real clean. But we got this far. Now we need to catch the other side up, make it look exactly like this, make sure everything is perfect, and then we can start doing our sheet metal work on top. Roll this bad boy here. I need some type of reference that I can measure off of that side and the same on this side, so I can make sure that these are landing exactly where they need to be. You don't want that one to be out of an inch further than this one. They're only as good as the worst thing you've done. Normally when we bend anything, we got tubing benders that do all that good stuff for us. But when you bend square tubing, it likes to kink the top of it. It always leaves like a little kink, like a little pinch. And you gotta spend all the time either grinding it and then it gets paper thin and it turns into a headache. It's a nightmare. So the best way to go about doing this, to put the bend that we want in this, is to pie cut it. So we're just gonna cut some slits in here. It's not gonna take a lot, and it'll give the perfect curvature of the side of the cab right there. Alrighty, make a little filler piece for that. Instead of bending this and rolling this way and then having to roll it back, that would have been really, really hard doing it to that piece. Our sheet metal will go all the way to here, you know what I mean? It'll all be one piece sheet metal, so you'll never know that this was added on. It's just to give a little bit of character, a little bit more flow into the running board. And see, once we cut all this off, behind here, that will bolt to the fender, and this will all be part of the running board here. This will be gone. All that is gone.
Ryan and I got our running board frames established on the 49. Now we're gonna go ahead and go off sheet metal here. We're gonna take our sheets here, take them over to the brake, get them broke, take them to the truck, and then get them trimmed to fit our frame perfect for a nice reveal. We'll go test it on the truck. I'm sure there'll be some minor finish trimming and buffing, and then we'll be good to go.
Now the sheet metal piece that we've made and cut and everything fits perfect in here. Everything lines up. We got it tacked to the bottom of the bed, and now it's time to start tacking it in. We'll tack it to the 1.5 inches. And there's also, you'll be able to see daylight right through there. So we got to figure out a way to, you know, make all that look good. Once we got it good and tacked and everything, we can pull it out, cut all this excess off, and put it in there and see what you got.
Right now I'm making some filler pieces for the front fenders that'll weld in, and then we won't have a gap. Voila, it'll look real nice.
All right, so now Dustin and I have got the last pieces on for the running boards. One step closer to having all the fab work done on the truck too. So now we'll get on to the next step, which I don't know yet, but
The next one.
yeah.
I want to show off all the custom metalwork on a 49 Ford. So we're going to make a bed floor that'll actuate up. So we got our stock for the bed floor of the 49 Ford. Now that Bill's got everything laid out, kind of has his idea going on what we're going to do, we now know how wide each board needs to be. So to keep it safe and keep everything uniform, I've got some fingerboards set up. It needs to be, and from that point, it's just a matter of feeding it through, getting it all cut. We'll get back over to the truck and make sure it all works. We're rolling with aluminum and walnut to get it form and function, just like we like it around here. The aluminum is a great idea because it's lightweight and low maintenance, but it also gives a great look breaking up the walnut. And once Lewis stains it, it's going to look really, really good.
All these aluminum channels and the woodwork, we're going to bolt all that together to make the bed. So I'm going to set this up here, clamp it down a little bit so it doesn't move, and then I'm going to mark in between so I know where I'm going to cut. I'm actually an upholstery maker, but I own a machine shop. I do little parts on the side, so I do this for Bill. I've known him since he was like a kid. He came over to my shop one day, and I was building my shop, and he said, I can do this. And I said, sure you can. Because, you know, he welded. Boy, he never stopped. He just kept growing and growing. Okay, I got these pieces marked out. I'm going to head out and get them cut so we can get this bed put together. All right, we're here at the machine shop, and I'm fixing to cut these channels in here. I'm going to move the table up until we touch the tool. I'm only doing it by eye. We have to cut it out a little bit at a time. You can't hog this material out. You have to cut it out. I always have eye protection.
You know, when the 49 Ford came in, you know, that's that's one of those projects you really just shake your head going, oh my God, what am I getting myself into? A lot of the times when projects look way too far gone, that just opens up more possibilities for building more custom into the project. Pretty much I just need the basics to start with, like a decent cab. When the frame's a little tweaked, hey, even more reason to build a brand new one. When suspension rides like crap, we're gonna tear it out anyway. It's endless. It's whatever your brain can think into a custom car. A lot of people start with a drawing. I'm gonna build this. Well, in my case, how I like to do it is just getting a feel for the project and just building on ideas as you go. I think in the end, you create a way more special, a way more unique vehicle if you build it along the way. A good example of that is the bed for the 49 Ford that we completely hand-built one piece at a time. And after a lot of work, John's finishing the floor right now.
You know, it's been a lot of pieces to get here. We've got the aluminum slats that Joe made in the machine shop. I've done all the math, got everything figured out, got the wood pieces cut, everything fits in perfectly. So now the next step is to take and actually attach the wood to the aluminum. We'll put them back in the jig and work out getting these things bolted together. Oh, Cleve, you got 3 big bones now. You won't be able to see any of the fasteners. They're all going to be hidden, bolted together from the inside. You know, it's going to be a really nice look and really clean on the truck. So the key to this is going to be keeping the wood nice and flush with the aluminum. Got my countersink in there so I can hide the hardware. Once I get one, repeat the process 7 more times. So the next step is to drill a hole in the middle through every one of these pieces and make them all line up in the same place. What I'm going to have to do is I'm going to set up a jig in the drill press to work from the end that I've already cut off, to measure it out, put the hole in the middle, and it'll be in the same place on each one of them. So I got all the middle holes drilled out, everything's going to line up, so the next step, lay it here on the table, get it squared up, and see if we can get our rod through it. This rod is going to help sandwich the center of it together. Come on. Almost there. Over your hole. Nice. I'm going to set up some clamps, start pulling all this nice and tight, put a couple of bolts in it to hold the end caps on. That'll be on the bottom of the bed cover, so when it's closed, you won't see them. Joe made this piece for us here. He machined it down so it'll fit perfectly inside of these square tubes. And what that's going to do is it's going to support the ends and keep it from sagging. Got everything marked out where it needs to be, so we'll go over to the drill press. Make sure that I get these things drilled perfectly square into the material. That's one of the things about projects like this. People will look at it, oh, that's nice, that's cool, that's neat. But they'll never really understand the amount of work and labor and effort that goes into making something like this. As small as this project is, in the whole scheme of things of the whole truck, there's still a ton of work put into just this one piece alone, not to mention how much goes into the whole truck. So next time you look at a really cool, nice, custom-built truck, give a little bit of thought to how much work is done that you don't see. Someone's put a lot of effort into it. We got our hinges made for our truck bed on the 49 Ford. So we got them drilled, tapped, bolted down now. We'll go ahead and get it back on the truck and finish getting our hinges made. Now we need to make hinge mounts off the frame of the truck. So I'm going to go ahead and make these out of 1/8 inch up and down. So we're moving on to actuators now and trapdoor action. I got this 1/8 inch plate here. I'm going to get some tabs made.
and that's gonna locate our actuators on the bottom of our trap door. And that's what's actually gonna make the bed or the trap door go up and down so you can see all the great work underneath. So we got our actuator mounts cut out, tacked up, and we got them installed on our trap door here. I'm gonna go ahead and attach our actuators now, and then we can go ahead and locate them on our frame, weld them up, try it out, and see if we can make a trap door go up and down. Now we got a trap door. You can see all our awesome work underneath, see the awesome frame, good to go. So we got the cab pulled off the 49 Ford, got all the sheet metal finished up, threw magic on it. Yeah, you're pretty good right there. I got the chassis rolled in. Now it's time to disassemble this. We go all the way up and get it out of the way. Yeah. So I'm gonna get the motor pulled out, suspension pulled out, get everything disassembled, weld out what needs to be welded, then we'll get it shipped off to powder coat.
As you can see, we got the 49 Ford pretty much wrapped up all the way in the exterior. Only thing left is the dash, and as you can see, it has all these imperfections that I have to address. I got a sander, get it ready so I can put body filler on it. Once I pretty much body work all this and we have it ready, we will put 1 coat of primer and we will see what we have and probably add some more. Now that I have the dash sanded pretty much all the way to where I can start body working, I'm going to use a little bit of fiberglass to smear on it and to dress all the big imperfections. Once that dries, I can be able to block it. It's important to make sure that you wipe kind of following the contour of the metal. So by the time you start sanding and blocking, it shouldn't be too much of a hassle. Most people don't really focus on the inside, but once you're behind that steering wheel, you get to see all the details that this dash has. And once I get done with it, he's gonna be real happy with it.
As we get to the end of a job as big as the 49 Ford, we got to do a bunch of things at the same time. While we're finishing up the bodywork, John's going to get going on the interior.
I'm going to start with the door panels. So I've got the ideas in my head of what I want to do. So I'm going to get them on this piece of chipboard. I'm going to make an insert that'll go inside of these. Bury some lights. That way we can get a nice trim light all the way around these pieces. Speaker's going to go down here. I want to add carpet down on the bottom of this door, guard it against bumping. We got walnut in the bed of the truck, so we're going to put some walnut inside. All right, that's that. I'm going to get some measurements and get it all in the computer and get the machines to work. So the router's done its part, made my pieces for me. So next step, a little bit of work on the router table. Take all these insert pieces, get them glued into the base pin inserts, start doing some body work on them, get those ready to go. So once these are done, the door panel will be ready, and then we'll start some body work on that, and just about done. Well, all the body work's done, inserts are on, everything's where it needs to be. So the next step, get it on the truck, trim in the sides, thing will be ready to wrap, and we can move on to the next.
One of the first things you notice on any vehicle is the color. I want this truck to really stand out, so we're going to go with the special candy paint. And right now it's time to pick out that color. Jose, what's happening?
What's up, Bill?
49 Ford spray outs, huh?
Spray outs, man. We finally got them dialed in. What do you think?
These are the candy colors, right?
The Candy Lemonade, yes, sir. So we got a 24 karat gold base, charcoal gray metallic base,
and a black metallic base.
So same candy color, just different base color.
Same candy color, different base colors will give you a different effect.
This one's just, man, I like it, but it's just a little too gold for this truck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna set it off.
Oh, for sure, man. We'll go about 4 coats of metallic black base, 4 coats of candy, lemonade, and then another 4 coats of clear, which is really gonna make that truck pop because of the contours of the body line.
That's what we need right there, but we need a whole lot of it.
We got you.
For sure, man. You need these?
Nah, man, go ahead and keep them.
Got some target practice?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
All right, man.
All right, brother. We went with the candy lemonade. We're painting a lot of pieces on this truck, from the frame, motor, transmission, body in and out. In this case, we're mixing up a 5-gallon bucket batch to get more consistency of the color versus trying to mix a gallon at a time. We could kind of throw off the shade and we do it that way. So that's what we're going with the 5-gallon bucket. So this candy has a pearl what makes it flop. A flop is going to give you a dark and a light look depending on how the sun hits it. What makes candy a candy is a translucent tint that goes over a certain base that gives you a certain look. Without that base, you won't see that deepness of the candy. Got a quart of candy pearl base coat. We're gonna dump it in the a reducer to the quart of candy pearl base coat. Now it's time to spray this motor, transmission, and frame.
So we got the frame painted, engine painted. We're gonna take it outside so they can put it all together. And we're gonna bring the cab. Alright, so we got our black sealer on there. And we're gonna go ahead and hit it with our black base coat. And we're gonna go ahead and hit it with our candy. So we're gonna have to paint everything at once. We can't do piece by piece because being a candy, everything has to be the same so it can match. You can't mess up on this one, so everything has to be done at once. Alright, so we got our 2 coats of candy. We're gonna let it dry. Put it all back together and paint the whole truck at once.
A candy paint job is a lot of work. A lot of going around the car, precision on your equipment, using the right material. Preps is key. If your vehicle is not prepped right, anything after that's gonna fail.
So we got our clear coat on there. Everything's looking really good. We're gonna let it dry overnight. Bring our last piece, which is the bed, and make it look good as the rest of the pieces.
The 49 Ford is all painted and the suspension's all back from getting chromed. So now we're gonna get it all put back together.
And the 49 Ford's gonna come out very, very nice. And with the chrome, the polished stuff, and the candy paint, boy, it's gonna be slick.
But it won't
We'll get it to go in there. Here, watch this.
You just gotta hit it harder.
That's right. We got all our parts back from getting chromed. I'm gonna go ahead and start assembling suspension parts, bushings, heims. I'm getting everything greased up, anti-seized up. Just full assembly right now. There you go. We got Mr. Corbin here helping me out. Anytime you send parts to get chromed, you always have to go through and clean threads like what I'm doing right now. There's always stuff that gets in the threads. And if you don't go through and clean it out, then you generally end up with a seized bushing or heim in your part. You put anti-seize on whatever part you're installing as well. I'm gonna thread that one in. And that will ensure no seized parts in your brand new, nice chromed pieces. Man, the chrome parts are very pretty, very so much more clear under the truck than a powder coated part. Great finish, man, it's mirror finish.
Every build around here has a story. It's cool to think this 49 Ford is a gift for Dad from his daughter. We're at the stage now where Matt's gonna wire it all up.
So right here on the inside of the truck, this is where our fuse panel is mounted. We're gonna pop our holes out right here so we can bring our wires out and hug the body as close as possible. And then we're gonna hit the frame right somewhere in this area. That way when everything's together, all this will be hidden. I've checked 4 times, but I'm gonna check again. Definitely being extra careful. I mean, I got 1 shot to drill the right hole. These are the bulkhead fittings we normally use, running air lines into the cab. You'd put this in there and push your airline in there. But this is the first time I've ever used, and Bill said, we don't want to see no wires on the frame, no zip ties. Forced me to figure something out. I know this keeps a nice tight seal, keeps water out and stuff like that, so I figured why not run wires through it. Trying to keep it tight to the body, but still, I guess, symmetrical looking. So it looks like it belongs there and it's not, it wasn't an afterthought. We're gonna go ahead and drill them now. We started with a small hole, a pilot hole, and then we slowly step up the sizes. It makes the hole easier to drill when you do it that way. And also we don't want to create too much heat. Since the frame's painted, it'll start bubbling up. None of this anybody's ever gonna see. But every build I do, I like to be not necessarily better than somebody else's build, but I like to be better than my last build. Luckily for me, this idea is working out the way it should. We're gonna go ahead and move on to the rest of them and get it tied up. The last piece we have for the 49 Ford is the center console. We got room now for the 3P controller. We got window switches. We got switch to control the tailgate, switch to control the bed floor, headlights, dome light, interior light, dimmer. Those things sent over to Lewis. Let Lewis do his magic on it, and we'll start building the console.
I've got a collection of stains here, John. I'm just gonna try to make it
Make something happen?
Yes, sir. Think it'll work out. We're gonna apply our wiping stain, put some clear on it, and we'll be good to go. This is a water-based wiping stain, so it dries very fast. It's gonna highlight the beauty of that walnut, and it's really easy to work with. What I really like about the stain, it's very uniforming, it's very forgiving, dries real fast, and pretty much immediately just go ahead and apply our top coat. We're gonna go ahead and put our solvent look sealer. This is really gonna bring out the beauty of this walnut and keep it well protected for years to come. Now we're gonna go ahead and sand this, make sure it's nice and smooth. So walnut by nature, it's very grainy, so we're gonna sand it really well and apply our final coat of top coat, and that'll be done. This is an electric spray system. It has low overspray, so since we're not spraying in a booth, this is gonna be the perfect machine.
All right, all the pieces are done on the CNC, so now it's just time to put the puzzle together. Stack, stack, stack. We're just gonna use a little bit of stack fab here, stacking all the pieces up, fabricating everything in a stack. Pretty straightforward there, huh? All right, so the first half of the console is in place, fits good, shapes look great. I'm gonna go through and put some body filler in to fill in the gaps around the front. Once that's done, go with the body work, we'll be ready to build the back half. All right, so the top and the back half of the console is done and ready to go. So the next step, start building the sides, get it in place. A little bit more body work. We're ready to wrap it and we can kick it out the door. Anytime you're building a console, you want to keep in mind your designs, your shapes, make everything is kind of flows together. Something one-off, something different. Alright, so the console from 49 Ford is done and done. And this thing looks great. I couldn't ask for it to look any better. So with that being said, I'm going to get it in the truck so we can get the truck out of the shop.
Back in the day, you know, 49 Ford's pushing about 100 horsepower. The new Coyote engine is going to give this truck a lot more power. But these engines come with a lot more wiring than they used to.
I haven't even seen underneath.
I want to hide all the wires going to the engine bay so it looks super clean.
I got a problem.
What?
So I'm trying to figure out how I'm getting the main power cable to the starter and then to our Pack 80 without being seen. We definitely can't use the half-inch tubing like we're using on everything else.
Yeah, that's not going to work either.
And I could come inside the cab, but I mean, that's going to mess with the interior.
I think that's really the only option right here that we have. That's just all there is to it. You're right. And you just get the look at.
Everything on the trunk is strategically laid out as from a fabricated a little harder. When I'm doing what I have to do, I try not to interfere with whoever's doing interior or fabrication or whatever. But I mean, sometimes you got to put your wires or put your mount wherever it's got to go. And I mean, we're all good at what we do. So I mean, the next person, it might be a little more challenging, but they'll get it figured out. I'm gonna go ahead and start trying to fish the wire through. This one was a short run. It went through a lot easier than I thought. Not a good idea to get too excited. Usually when that happens, the next one gives you problems. Most likely it will. Yeah, we're definitely caught up on something. See, I knew the back couldn't be as easy as the front.
I know I'm right there at that sway bar because I'm kind of getting caught. So I'm just trying to flip the line till I don't feel it.
Man, we got it. Now we'll go ahead and tie our wires onto this and get them pulled down the frame. This factory harness that goes on the Coyote motor, one of the main plugs that goes to the ECM is in the front because that's where the computers mount factory. So I went ahead and we cut open all the loom on the harness. I moved the plug inside the cab. Doing that, it caused me to have to extend some of the wires for the sensors. We got to cut these open, lengthen them. We'll solder them up, doing it one at a time, just so we get rid of some of the mess and it looks clean at the end. This part of the electrical is pretty crucial. Without this being done right, the truck's not gonna run. Building something like this, every minute of it's hard. Like, it's a pain, and you have to really love doing it to stick with it, ride it out to the end. To me, it's fulfilling. That creativity, don't be scared that somebody might not like what you did. I mean, that's how you set trends, like by doing new things that nobody else does. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that do it for the recognition of building the cars, but I mean, most of us, we do it because it's what we love to do. Moment of truth. Well, let's do it.
Please start. Right, Matt? It says start. You tell me when you're ready.
Go ahead. Let's go!
Damn, that was loud as hell.
Badass feeling, for sure. All that hard work, and it's there.
I don't know what time it is, but it's late, and that's a good payoff.
And the rest is up to them.
Let's go.
Every build we do is special to us, and the customer, of course. But this 49 Ford's maybe a little more because it's a gift. And it's almost there. We're putting the bed floor together one last time. We're installing the bumper and hood, buffing and polishing. And after 8 months of hard work, we're ready to give this one back.
Once the vehicle is actually here, it's just an immediate rush of let's get this part, let's get these parts in. I have to be been doing this for 15 plus years. Working with cars, trucks. Moving out here. Doing the big move with my family. Didn't know what to expect. The first 2 years being here, man, it's been one of the wildest, craziest rides I've ever been on. I fit right in with everybody because they speak the language that I speak, custom trucks. When Bill and the guys get in the back and they start going, the end product is like no other. You wouldn't even know that was the same vehicle that came in the first day. At the end of the day, you're making somebody's dream really become a reality.
Oh, look at that. Wow. Oh my God.
The detail and everything that the guys in the back have done to that truck, it makes me very proud to be a part of that.
Hi.
Hey, Stephanie's convinced me that her dad has no idea where his truck's at. Stephanie, Bill?
Yes, Carol, my dad.
Carol's Bill. So we're going to play a little joke on him. Have him come in. She doesn't know anything.
I wanted to talk to you about my dad's 1949 Ford F1.
They're coming in today for her dad to tell me what he wants in a build.
I had one in high school, and I sold it. I've regretted selling it.
Along the way, right?
Yeah. I've seen Bill's work before, and I think this is the place to get my dream fulfilled and get him to build this truck.
The 49 Ford is a cool truck. I can definitely see you wanting something really cool built out of that. But we might have a little surprise for you.
Okay.
Stephanie brought your truck in, a while back, and we've been working on it for you already.
Really? You on my leg? What'd you do?
Come on.
All right.
Let's
see.
go.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Bill. What you gonna do? Oh my God, my family's tearing off.
Yeah.
Man, that thing's
Well, you like
beautiful.
it?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's on the ground even.
Well, yeah, we had to make it low for you.
That's pretty low. My dreams come true. I walked out here and I saw the truck. Oh my God, everybody was hollering at me. I'm very grateful and blessed to have such wonderful people in my family. My gosh. My family was in on this. I can't even tell you how much that means to me. Y'all did good.
You did good. Yeah, y'all did good.
All y'all did good. It's beautiful.
When she brought your truck in, I kind of really didn't want to tackle it. It was just so much work involved to take something like that and make it into something like this. But she talked me into it. It was a special project, especially for you.
I had one in high school, and there's no way we could have done that in high school. There's so many things I see that I like and that somebody did work on.
Every one of these guys got blood, sweat, and tears in it for sure.
Did they have tetanus shots?
Oh, yeah. We're all up to date.
Up to date? Oh, I can't imagine how much time and hours that they've spent doing metal work on the truck. The bed, the fenders, the drip rail, all of the body seams welded and cut up. Unbelievable metal work. That color is crazy, man. It's so deep and it kind of flops when the sun's on it to a black in the shadows and all.
Over a black base.
You couldn't have picked a better color. Got me chrome.
There's a little bit of chrome underneath.
There's a little chrome on it. That's what we wanted.
Everywhere you look is custom touches.
Yeah.
You'll be hard pressed to find a 49 Ford like this anywhere on this planet.
I would agree. Oh my God.
You see that 5.0 fits really good underneath the hood. Now, we had to make a whole lot of room, and while we're making a lot of room, we made a bunch of handmade panels to make it look even better under the hood.
The inner fenders are all welded up. There's no seams in the bottom part of the front fenders. I don't have words. I mean, it's just fabulous.
If you're liking that,
I like that.
For you to check out.
I like that. Golly. Wow.
Very nice.
Big transformation what was there. There wasn't anything there. I mean, your interior was missing the floor. We repaired all that, slicked it all out. John Burgess got busy in building everything you see in there pretty much.
Holy Jesus. John did a fantastic job on that interior. The door panels, the seats, the carpet, the dash. That's just one of a kind interior.
Just gets better and better.
I think this is one of my favorite parts of the truck for sure. When you're behind it, you see those 22 by 12s with the big tires on it. The handmade bed kind of built to the suspension and the wheels and tires.
What holds tailgate on?
It's all actuated.
Actuated.
John, help me out.
Wow, that's so cool.
Oh, Lord. Oh, look at that.
Wow.
Bed floors all on actuators too. You can see all that framework.
Wow. There's your independent rear suspension. It's beautiful.
And you see that's all connected to a brand new chassis front to back. Every bit of the suspension in the front is all been handmade with air suspension, so you can raise and lower it and still have that nice comfortable ride also. It looks just as good looking at every angle from underneath as it does from the top.
Wow, it's fabulous.
You know, I always say it's not a one-man show. I mean, it takes everyone in the shop to work their ass off all day, every day to see projects like this to the finish line. So how do you think we did, man? Is this the truck you was hoping for?
Yeah, it's everything I could have dreamed of or imagined. All, baby.
You're welcome.
Love you.
Love you too.
Thank you, Bill.
You're ready?
Nothing factory's going to fit in that truck. Everybody comes here because they want something different. They want something of their own. Go big or go home.
Our porting, our axle, our bag mount, and our shock mount gives this thing that bulldog stance. So we're going to cut this firewall out. And there you go. We got air conditioning.
All the blood, sweat, and tears that's went in this Willys. I can't wait to see it finished.
Oh, look at that. Outstanding.
I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal.
Morning. How's it going?
Man, it's going real good, Carlos. I've been blessed to keep getting busier and busier. Our builds just get bigger and bigger. And because of that, we're just bursting at the seams, and we need more help.
Well, it's been really nice working here, man. Everybody's great. The builds are awesome. Clients have been amazing. It's just been a good time, man, and I enjoy it.
It's definitely hard to find the right people with the right skill set. Well, let's make it official, man.
All right.
I'm on full time.
I'm ready.
Let's do it, man.
Yes, sir.
Luckily, Carlos came from California to help coordinate our build. And I want to show you something, man. You mind if I drive real quick?
Yeah, where we're going?
You'll see. Insurance paid up, right?
Yes.
You know, he's only been here for a little while, but he's fitting right in. Oh, I forgot something. Let me go back up here real quick. Some days you think it's going to be a normal day. Well, that's total opposite around here. I mean, we're always striving to go bigger, better, and to be the best.
This is not the kind of donuts I thought we were going to go get, but man, this is amazing.
Hey, welcome aboard.
Just doing more.
Yeah, you always got to have that little more, a little more. Speaking of,
Man, the text message said come up front. I didn't know this was an intervention. We've been working too hard? Too much work?
no.
Need to cut back on the amount of work I'm doing?
We watch the cameras and we know better.
Oh, that's right.
That's why we need to talk to you.
What we want to talk about is that Willys.
Okay.
I'm really getting excited about it.
Yeah.
But we're still a long ways away. The 1960 Jeep Willys rolled in a while back, and it was in really good shape. But the owner, he wants a one-of-one. You know, something totally different, unlike anything else, and he wants that just aggressive bulldog look. So So we went big, split that cab up into 4 pieces, making it 8 inches wider and about 6 inches longer. Bob Grant, one of the top guys in the game, made that body just look like it came that way from the factory.
Yeah, this is my first big build with you guys, and seeing that thing for the first time was just impressive, and I can't wait to see it finished.
But we're getting close, man. We're getting real close. Once that cab was larger, we had to go with that larger frame. So we built the frame with the same size tubing we use on a 1-ton truck. So it's way strong enough to handle that 6.2 Hellcat engine that's going in it. It matches the size and design of the body. It looks like it came on that Willys. We still need to do the firewall, suspension front and rear.
So we're bagging it too, right?
Yeah, big 4-link with big airbags. Speaking of doing something right, John, it's time for the interior.
Cool. I've been waiting. I've been itching, watching everybody work on it and just kind of getting ideas and thinking about being able to do something with that truck. I think it's so cool.
Yeah, man. We don't have anything. We threw everything away.
It's not like it was going to work anyway.
Right, exactly.
It's bigger, it's wider. Nothing factory's going to fit in that truck.
It's on you to fill all that room with a bunch of coolness.
So, custom door panels, something flows, nice lines from the car.
Yeah.
We'll do custom seats, custom shaped foam, covers, whole 9 yards. With custom audio, we'll do it in the center console. See, the idea is to keep all the leg room that we work so hard to get it.
Sure.
So, tied into the custom kicks, just for the kick of it.
Okay, well, I'll just get you the material you need for the interior.
All right.
Just let me know what colors and stuff like that you need.
Your fingers are warmed up.
They're warm.
It's way more just material. I mean, you got plenty of stuff to get started.
All right, well, this has been fun, but I got work to do.
Go do it. We mocked up the engine because the Hellcat's pushing over 700 horsepower. We're going with an extra heavy-duty suspension.
Now we got the front axle in place, all the front suspension done, even the engine's in place. Now we want to make the upper back supports look as aggressive as the rest of the build. All right, so Jesse got these plates burned out for me. Now I could go get them shaped to fit the curvature of the tubing. God dog. Now we got this bent perfectly. Cleanup time. All I'm doing now is taking all this middle scale and black paint off of it. Giving me some bare metal. Nice shiny metal is better to weld on. Now I got the plate where I want it. I could go ahead and get that welded in. Yeah, just like that. So we got our lower bag mount here, which the bottom of the bag is going to sit on, and our upper bag mount, the top of the bag is going to sit on. Now, next step we're going to do is make a gusset that connects from here down to the side of the frame rail, give it a lot more support. We're going to do it out of pipe as well. Do it like that, we can't get that bolt out. But if we do it like that, we can. As you can see here, this definitely is going to add a lot of support to the end of this bracket. Pretty bueno. Now we got a complete bag mount. 4 links are in, axles on. Got our bag mounts on. Last final piece to the front suspension, doing the shocks. All we gotta do is make us some shock mounts that attach from the frame to the top of the shocks. So after doing shocks about 1 million times, we're gonna cut us a template out, something like that. We'll see how close we get to having that correct. Pretty confident it's be pretty close. Perfect. Now we're gonna take this, get that cut out. Now we got all 4 pieces cut out. We can get these sanded, put some holes in it. Now I got the first hole. I can clamp the second one together. Use that hole as a pilot, punch to the second one. Now with everything in place, our 4 links, our axle, gives this thing that wide bulldog stance to handle the width of the body now, the power of the motor, size of the wheels and tires. With everything coming together, this setup is perfect for it.
So today's the day. We're gonna get started on the door panels for the Willys Jeep. The look they're going after, with this one, that's kind of a utilitarian style. They still want it nice and clean and classy, but at the same time, it's still got that big, beefy, nasty stance to it. So with that, we don't want too many curved lines or anything, so it's gonna be kind of straightforward. We'll round out the corners and give it our own touch. Kind of going to be my roadmap for the computer. We'll be able to expand and elaborate on our design, change them around, do what we need to do, and we'll have a door panel. Every one of our builds have to be completely different, so it's really difficult to always keep one-upping yourself, but it's also nice to always one-up yourself. It keeps you motivated, keeps you moving. Next step, stick this in place and get it on the router. It's that magic butter. This is a fiberglass reinforced body filler that we use when we're making gaps bigger than 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch. Anything bigger than that, Bondo really doesn't have the strength that you need, so we use this. Helps hold our shape. A little more difficult to sand, but in the end, it's really worth it because it just keeps everything nice and straight. You don't have to worry about it breaking or cracking or anything. Oh, like a glove. So now we've got a nice trim ring built around it. Everything worked out great. Next thing we have to do is build the armrest on top of it. This is one of the things that I just don't like doing with a machine. To me, it's a lot more fun. Part of the creative process of building things manually and getting your shapes and things in it that way. You can usually look at something and tell if it's been mostly done by a machine or if there's handwork, how much handwork's gone into it. It just has more of an organic feel. To me, there's no replacing that. A lot of people like to do, we'll do a test piece or something. No, I like to just go straight in, dive right in, full bore. If you're not going to put 100% into your practice piece, you'll never know what the full potential is of the part you're trying to make. Go big or go home. All right, door panel's all body worked out, ready to go. Next step, get some leather on this, get the inserts wrapped, and we'll be ready to put it on the truck. People come through the shop all the time. Oh man, you inspire me to do this, to weld more in my garage, or to be more hands-on. And then customer comes in, says, well, I've seen how you did this. Well, I want to do this. And the projects they spiral out of control from there. Like the Willys, for example. Bob coming in and just making it look so easy. Cutting a cab up like that and putting it back together, that just ain't something anybody can do.
So we had to cut through all this structure and everything, and when we rebuild it, we're going to have to put it back, all that structure back in.
Union Home, to be able to come in, make it look as easy as he does, make it go back together as easy as it looks, that's really saying something. To make the body lines match up the way they do, the proportions look the way they look, that's a skill set in itself also. Just the cab on the Willys is something we can all be proud on, and having Bob part of that is key.
I know this looks crazy and bad right now, but once we get it all cut out and trimmed up, it's going to look perfect.
This is extensive metalworks. We do metalwork on pretty much every project that comes in and out the door. There is some sort of metal shaping, welding, grinding, all that technique is built into pretty much everything that goes in and out. But this Jeep Willys, every inch of it is metalwork. It's something that's evolved into a really, really, really cool project that everyone in this shop is proud of. You know, the 4-link, new axles, bag mounts, shock mounts, it's all done. Now we're making the heavy-duty hangers for that rear suspension.
This is the easy way I found to line it up and make it all straight. I make all the cuts right here without having to do it on the frame. Kind of something cool too, the Willys has a little roll in the fenders, so this kind of duplicates the fender a little bit the way it rolls back. Once it gets welded out, it gets super strong, and it's all going to flow together.
Now Tim got these nice hangers tucked in place. I'm gonna go ahead and get these welded out. After that, we're gonna start building a heavy-duty 4-link to accommodate the heavy-duty rear end to handle all the power that Hellcat's gonna put out. It would be pointless to put your basic 4-link on this, so we're definitely gonna put an upgraded heavy-duty 4-link on there to make sure it withstands all the power and torque that this engine is gonna put to that rear wheel. Now we got the hangers all welded in, some good strong welds. Now it's time to get that 3/4 ton axle in and get that 4-link built. First thing we're gonna do is get this from front to back on both sides. We want this thing straight across and even. 12 7/8. From the edge, I'm gonna mark me a couple reference lines so I know exactly where our axle tabs are gonna mount. So when we set our axle tabs here with the 4-link bar, we know that it's going to be perfectly straight.
You always want to make sure the bar is going to be just as strong as everything else. So if we're using a bigger, heavier duty piece of DOM, so when he does step on it, you should have no problem at all with the 4-links. This is the gravy maker.
All right, we got the top 2 bars in. We're going to tack them in place so it don't move, and we'll get our bottom ones made.
One more tap. All right.
That looks right. All right, we got the hangers in place, all welded out. Heavy duty 4-link bars in. Now this thing's going to be able to handle whatever that engine throws at it.
What you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on? So I just got off the phone with the owner of the Jeep Willys. And true to the era of the Jeep Willys, so I printed this out, and it's got all the different colors that they have.
So this is what we're picking from, huh?
Yeah.
That's way better picking through a whole color book, right?
Yeah.
You know, a couple of these, you can just mark these right off the list. Peacock Blue, Palm Beach Ivory, no. Tropical Rose.
Yeah, that Jeep doesn't really scream tropical.
Yeah. One of the things I've been thinking about this, you know, of course, the whole time you're building something, you're thinking, hey, what color is going to look, what it's going to look like in the end, right? And I've been thinking dark green since, you know, for a while now. That pretty much makes it easy on this. That deep, deep green is going to look really, really good on there. I think, you know, you're really going to see all the body lines. I'll get with Juan back there. We're going to mix it up, you know, a little bit. We don't want to have, you know, boring green, but...
Yeah, you got to keep it a little custom, but
right,
keep it OEM style.
Yeah.
And then it'd be a one-of-a-kind color just for his Jeep.
You know, as far as the interior color also, man, it has to be a tan. I think that deep green with the tan interior, I mean, that's a win-win right there. This is going to stand out like no other. And I'm going to go get with Juan, get something mixed up, because we're ready.
Yes, sir.
We're going to make it happen.
Go.
Making that Jeep longer and wider than it was originally, it's not only a metalworking challenge, it means none of the original interior pieces are going to work. John needs to build every part and piece from scratch. And I mean everything.
Got the base of the door panel all wrapped. Everything worked out great. So next step is finish making the mat pocket. We're going to use this spring steel. We're going to put this like an insert inside of a leather sleeve, and it'll just create our belt that goes across the opening for our mat pocket. Everything I've done has been self-taught. Screwed up a lot of stuff. Had to fix a lot of stuff. I guess that was one of the driving factors when I started doing it, is not wanting to pay for broken stuff. So you got either good at fixing it or not breaking it, one of the two. And then over time you just get better at not breaking it, but
still screw up stuff.
That's a good looking door panel. I'll put that on a Willys Jeep.
You know, it's no secret, I'm a big fan of air suspension. On-road, off-road, doesn't matter. It's a better driving experience. That's it.
We got a center of our bags laid out. So what we're gonna do is make a perimeter around it with pipe and then plate it all in. That's gonna be our upper bag mount.
Okay, so right now I got our pipe in here. Fix to go ahead and cut out our section of pipe. Then we'll take it over to the pipe bender. Then that's gonna be our upper bag mounts. Jesse just burned us out some plates right here. This is where our bag is actually gonna bolt to. I gotta trim it just a little bit more. Once I do that, I'll go ahead and punch the holes in for the bolt and air fitting. Once I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and weld this thing out all the way. All right. Got both the upper bag mounts done. Everything's welded in. So next is go ahead and put them on the truck.
You know, I've built more air suspensions like the one on the Willys than I can even remember. When mocking up the shocks, it's critical to see how they fit with everything fully compressed. Because I'll get.
Okay, so we got our mock-up shock here, compressed. Go ahead and set our tabs. Got it. Once we do that, we'll know where we're gonna mag drill through the frames. We're gonna go right through the frames. That's gonna tie in the upper part of our shock. Alright, got our hole.
So we got our DOM. The shock is gonna hang off the side of the frame and come down to the axle. So we wanted something really substantial to hold all the jarring of the shock. So we put DOM through the frame so we can through bolt it and, you know, tighten it up and be nice and strong.
So it's a sleeve, basically, to go over our DOM. Just cosmetic, basically. You know, it's gonna look better. Okay, so now we got our upper shock mount done. So now we're just gonna through bolt it. Line everything up. I'll tack it right on the rear end right here. Okay, shocks are in. Everything looks parallel. I like it.
So we're getting started on the console for the Willys Jeep. We're going to do a stack fab style box. So basically, we're just going to make a bunch of rings. We're going to put a subwoofer in it. The woofer's going to be on the back side, firing at the back wall of the truck. And we have a good solid foundation for our curve. We don't have to worry about any flex or anything like that. So really good way to go about it. Give it a squeeze. Just got a clamp on here. We're going to let this glue dry for a minute. Once the glue's dry, we'll put the baffle on it, cut our hole in it, and start shaping these sides in. Step one, rough cut. There's just something to be said for knowing that you can do whatever you want with your hands. You know, that's one thing I've always said, because I'll find something to do. I'll find a way to make something. One of the challenges, you know, is you've got the customer that has certain expectations and they have certain wants and needs, and then you on your artistic side, you're trying to up your game and kind of set it up and push yourself a little further every time. So getting that fine balance between the two of giving the customer what they're after and still putting your little spin and your touch on it, but there's still some constraints at times, and this is nature of the beast. I like it. All right, man. We got this thing all body worked out, ready to go. So the next step on the center console is to go ahead and work in the piece that goes around the shifter up into the armrest. So we'll be able to attach this to the front of the subwoofer box. So the next thing I have to do is start working on the insert and all the parts that go around the shifter. So we can body work that into this panel. Everything starts with a basic form, basic shape. It's just how far do you take it from there? So time to get busy and get some mud on this thing. Chipboard, fiberglass, bodywork, every day. If you're fabricating, you're bodyworking, I promise you. If you're not doing it right. Give it some sandy sands, common thread to fabrication, sanding. Lots and lots of sanding.
Because we go with bigger engines and transmissions. We cut the original firewall out. Now it's time to replace it with a new handmade firewall. Even though you won't always be able to see it, we're going to give it that same custom look as the rest of the Willys.
Now we got the cab lifted up off the frame. What I'm going to do is start removing all this stuff that's not needed anymore. And we're going to cut this firewall out and build a whole new one that looks really nice. There's no point in having this ugly looking firewall when the rest of the truck is completely custom. And there you go. We got air conditioning. You know, typically the firewall is flat, but right here where the motor is, I'm gonna make it curve in and curve back out. So not only does it got to curve in, from this little challenge is fun to do. You can't always have it easy all the time, then you get burnt out. So now we're creating our radiuses horizontally and vertically at the same time. It takes a lot of time, but the finished product looks so much better. We got the hardest piece done. Now that it's tucked in place, we can build our templates for what we're going to design on the rest of the firewall, which is mainly flat stuff with some bead rolling. Should be way easier than that part. First thing I'm going to do first, cut this in half. So I'm going to bead roll some patterns that matches the rest of the patterns that are on the truck already. So this panel will match perfectly to the truck and not look out of place. Now we got our first panel. We got our patterns recessed in like the rest of everything, and I raised the perimeter around the hood hinge so that this panel would sit flat against the firewall. All I gotta do is trim off all the excess that's not needed and get it tacked on the firewall. Alright, we got all the panels made, cut to fit. All we gotta do is weld it in.
Project like this Jeep Willys, that's one of the most labor-intensive jobs that you can actually do to a vehicle. Every part along the way is just hours put in. From cutting apart the body and totally remaking it, the frame, the suspension, of course that handmade bed. Most of the time when you have a project, you're working with parameters there. You're just changing, tail lights or maybe changing the wheel well opening a little bit just to add those custom touches. Well, in this case of the Willys, there's no reference points to go off of. Creating the whole bed, it's work, but really more of the challenge is making it look like it came that way. That's a whole different ballgame. Stepping back and getting the proportions right, the right body shape, the flow of the body, all that is super, super critical to see how to bend those lines and and how long to make the lines and where to put the wheel well opening and how to shape the wheel well. The key is all the blood, sweat, and tears that's went in this Willys is it's finally coming to an end. So we're right there at the finish line, and I can't wait to see it finished. When you're working on these big builds, you always learn to celebrate these big milestones.
We'll do it.
With all the months and months of metal work finally done, we can finally send this frame off to powder coat. It's a very big day.
You know, when you finally send off the frame, that's one of them days that you really look forward to because you know all the fabrication's been done. And once you get it back, clean out the powder coat of holes, and you get to start reassembling this thing, and it really starts to come together.
You know, the Willys metalwork is all done. The body shop did their thing, now it's time for paint.
Green for the money, gold for the honey. Alright, so we're gonna paint this Jeep's Willy, Jeep Green, which that's actually the name of the color. It's called Jeep Green. Basically, it's a military green with some glamour in it. It's gonna be a nice color. It's gonna be something exotic, something nice. All our colors, so now we're ready to take it to the shaker and get it all mixed up. So we got our green Jeep metallic for a green Jeep. It's going on a green Jeep. Looks like an avocado now. This is a nice Jeep green. It's gonna look good. I like it.
As a contrast to the green paint on the Willys, we went with a tan leather for that interior. You know, with that color combo, it'll really make these handmade seats really stand out.
Decided to go with a pair of buckets in it, so I've taken some foam, gotten it all shaped out, so now it's just a matter of sitting here, have something to work off of to make our patterns. Let's see, so we're gonna run center on this. Once I got that, it's just time to start coming up with ideas. Probably one of the hardest parts of all of this is the simple fact that no two can be the same. Everybody comes here because they want something different. They want something of their own. You know, it takes a little bit of effort, a little bit more work to get it worked out, to make it happen, but definitely what we shoot for. Something like that. Foam gives our pattern some workability, make it lay nicer, look better. And now we play Tetris. Let's go sit down and do some sewing. Oh yeah. Got two halves of our insert. We're going to put these together. We're going to make a strip to go up the center. Get that sewn down. It'll custom top stitch. So it's like drawing on it with a marker. Get it crooked. You're going to see it. All right. Got the first insert done. That's ready to go. Next step, rinse, wash, repeat, and go on to the next one. Parts and pieces back from the powder coat. This 1960 Jeep Willys, you know, is bare frame, so we're putting on every part and piece. We got the axles painted, all the 4-link bars, powder coat tapped out of them. We got our Hellcat red eye
engine transmission painted. Everything's going back together. It's looking really, really good. I love the gray hammer tone next to the green metallic. Man, it just looks very classy, but it still has that military kind of feel. So I think the colors are going to go with this perfectly. This is one of my favorite parts of Together. It just reminds you, when you're a little kid building that model and creating that little masterpiece. Well, this is full-size version right here. Can't wait to see how this wide body is going to look on this chassis. Just doing a layup for the kick panels on the Willys Jeep. Trying to get this thing set up so we can get the machine running.
No matter how many sets of kick panels I've made or how many panels I've made, whenever we're building these cars, every one of them's different. Every bit has its own way of making a mess out of me, so dirtiest tool in the shop besides me. We may start with a template from another one, but from there we just elaborate on what we've already got. Then we have something that's totally unique, completely different. No one else has it, only that one truck. So everything has to be different.
Hey, man.
Hey, what's up?
These are great. Those are the kick panels?
I could use a little bit of help. Nothing, it's easy work. It's easy.
This is a trick.
I've got all the drawings for the Willys Jeep.
Okay.
I just need you to take the drawings out of the software and put them into the laser software so we can feed Lace Fonda and she can cut out some trim rings for me.
We're going to feed the new beast.
Yes.
Feed the beast.
Chomp, chomp, chomp. The advantage of a laser cutter over a CNC is speed and precision. The laser cutter is very fast and very precise. It doesn't need to go over the cut multiple times. One cut and it's perfect. Unfortunately, the machines won't sand for us, so we still have to sand. They'll never be able to do away with us.
The Willys is one of the biggest builds we've ever done here at Extensive. This build took a little longer than expected, maybe a little over budget, but it's something myself and all the guys are really proud of, so I can't wait for you to see what we got for you.
So growing up, my dad always had different kind of cars. Kind of a running joke in my family that every time my dad went on vacation, he got a new car. After high school, I got real heavy into cars. I met an owner that owned her. I fell in love with helping people build what they wanted to build. So the way I got here is, it was kind of a funny thing. They had put a post out looking for a parts person, sent in a resume. Took 3 months before I heard anything back. At first it was a text message. Hey, this is Bill Carlton with Extensive. And at first I thought it was just one of those free hotel stays in Hawaii. But later that night I get a call from Bill. Said I came out for the week and I just fell in love with the place. Being a kid, picking up old magazines of trucking magazines and stuff like that, I would always see the Extensive logo, and I just knew there was no way that I can pass this opportunity up. It didn't take me but 3 days to talk with my wife, make the decision to make the move.
Today's the day to really see how we did. Man, there is not another Jeep Willys like this anywhere on this earth. And I can't wait to really see how John and Scott are liking it.
Bill. What's happening, fellas?
How's it going? Hey, Bill. How you doing, man? Good to see you, Bill. Good to see you guys, man. How you doing?
Doing great.
Man, you're about to be doing a whole lot better.
Bill, I've had a truck for a while. This guy's been on me forever to get this truck done, and I can't believe it's done. I keep pinching myself.
I know he's been on you, but we've been getting the emails.
Yeah,
but today,
ready to check it out.
All right, John, come on.
Oh, you hear it? You hear it?
Oh, yeah, baby! Oh, look at that! Wow!
Look at that!
Outstanding! Woo! Good job, baby!
Oh, man! Look at the size of the
Just
frame.
what I was looking for.
Wow, that thing is awesome. Look how big the wheels are. Look at the size of the brakes on there.
Thank you very much. about here.
That looks good.
Is that wide enough for you?
That is wide enough.
Is
Perfect.
that a bulldog looking
That's
up
a
for you?
bulldog. Look what I was looking for. Yeah, that's well worth the wait just to see what it looked like. I was so excited to see the difference of what it was when we had dropped it off.
Got a kid in a candy store here.
That's true.
Man, I'm glad you like it. I mean, we're all super proud of this.
Oh yeah.
We spent a lot of time with this truck, right?
Time, yeah.
The first thing we had to do is chop the cab up. You know, had Bob Grant come in, we made it 8 inches wider, 6 inches longer, just to give you a lot more room.
When my dad was talking about cutting the cab in 2 sections, that kind of blew my mind. They did an awesome job.
We added 4 inches down each side of the hood and down on each side of the grill.
Looks factory built.
Yeah,
It
that's
came
the
from
point. That's
factory
what
that
you
way.
want is knowing something's been done. It looks really cool, but I can't quite put my eye on it.
You nailed it right
Just yeah, perfect.
You know, and one of the next things we did is we built a whole new chassis from front to back, and you know, we built in custom air suspension with that chassis too. So if you don't like that stance, you can ride a little higher or a little lower, and it's a transfer case in there, so you still have the front wheels pulling also with the flip of a switch.
Exactly what I was looking for.
It's perfect. The stance is perfect. It sounds mean. It looks mean.
Yeah, man.
First thing we're gonna do with this truck is just show it off.
Take home some trophies.
Yeah. Love the wheels on it. Just what I was looking for.
Big 24s on it just look like the perfect proportion.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, coming down at you, you just automatically notice that color, right?
I love the color. It just sparkled.
And the paint is so nice. You can actually reach in and touch the flake. Man, it's awesome.
You want to see under the hood?
I want to see under the hood.
Oh, are you
yeah.
serious? Look at that
Beautiful.
thing. Whoa.
You know, got the Hemi under the hood with the Hellcat Red Eye, supercharged. There's about 700 horsepower under the hood.
Hear those wheels? You're going to be spinning. Great.
And we had to custom make the firewall to fit not only around the engine, around the big transmission also.
It looks just like it came off the assembly line. Just perfect.
Yeah, it's a 1960.
Yeah.
We've done a lot under here, but this isn't the only thing. Old John Burgess did a lot inside the cab. Let's check it out.
Okay.
Wow.
Get that thing.
We had to start from the very beginning. Threw it all away because for one, nothing was going to fit, and for two, nothing would match what they've done to the truck. From A pillars and B pillars to seats, we were able to hide the subwoofer in the center console. We got your speakers in the kick panels. Everything plays nice and loud. It's in your face, nice and clean. Custom door panels. Nothing in this is from 1960.
Took a blank canvas and made it a masterpiece.
Yes.
We got one more thing to show you in the back.
One more?
Yeah. Okay, one more.
Right.
Sounds good.
What do you think?
Okay.
It's nice. Wow.
Oh.
We didn't bring it to you like this.
No.
Oh,
So,
and you nailed it. I love the custom corner there. That's where it goes
Yeah.
in the box. I love that.
this has all been constructed by hand.
Wow.
It was just a pile of sheet metal when they started.
Unbelievable.
You said build you a cool truck. How we do?
110%.
Love it.
You guys did a great job. I want to thank everybody over Extensive that worked on the Jeep. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. You did a great job.
Yeah, it takes a team effort to do something like this, and it's awesome to see everything get together. And
The team hit a home run.
Yeah, they did.
You know, we love what we do. We love building stuff like this, and I appreciate you giving us the opportunity to build this for you. I am very, very thankful, each and every guy at the shop, for making it work all day, every day, and making vehicles like this one of a kind. Well, fellas, we're going to get back to it.
Okay.
All right.
It's squishy. We're going to make it a little cooler.
Why else would it be here?
Air suspension on this whole truck and trailer.
Truck and trailer?
This motor is smoked.
Runs like a dream, just no power.
I think like a 12-valve Cummins.
Oh, wow.
Man, I'm ready to get this back on the road. I just want to go around the neighborhood with the kids. I hear you're the guy when it comes to golf carts.
We make these things fast, make them loud, race them.
You race them.
Oh yeah, man, they're fast.
You get me excited on this. Ryan's telling me this thing could possibly do a wheelie.
You can't just have him walking away with some normal cart.
What?
I'm Bill Carlton. I built my first truck when I was 16. And ever since, me and my guys have been out here creating with our hands. Building the biggest, lowest, baddest custom trucks and cars in the game. People don't come here for what they need. They come here for what they want. This is Texas Metal.
guys have here?
Brought you a 1953 white with a 1951 Fruhoff tanker. The tanker yanker from St. Louis, Missouri.
Man, that is cool. This ain't something you see every day.
No, sir, it ain't.
You know, like I say, you never know it's going to roll through the gate. Prime example, today, a 1953 tanker truck. This is the type of truck that gets me excited. The thing looks good. It looks like fresh paint, everything on it.
Yes,
right?
it is.
So what's in the tanker?
Nothing, it's just a promotional tanker. It used to haul gasoline back in his day.
We actually have 34 Peterbilt trucks just like this color here that we run in St. Louis delivering fuel every day. So we take this thing to parades and stuff and people love it. The truck and trailer combo gets a lot of attention, but we've convinced the owners to make it a little bit cooler.
So you just want it to look good, promote business.
Yeah.
And have fun.
Yeah.
It's a company vehicle in their second generation. I want to make it comfortable for the third generation to be able to go cruising.
And that's where you come into play,
All
Bill.
right. So what you guys got under the hood, is that one of the upgrades we need to do?
It's a Whopper.
Let's check it out. Oh, there.
It's all original stock motor. 150 horsepower. Runs like a dream, just no power.
No power.
You know, this antique truck looks good, but this old engine in it, 150 horsepower, definitely ain't gonna cut it.
We drove this from St. Louis, 40 mile an hour tops, Bill. Oh, Larry here, he's wore out in the drive here.
I bet it will wear you out, man.
Yeah, that steering wheel's big for a reason. It has no power steering. It makes it...
Yeah, definitely room for improvement underneath there. I think like a 12-valve Cummins.
Oh, wow.
Automatic transmission, so anybody could get in it, drive it, have plenty of power, and that diesel rattle, too. It just would fit this whole project, right?
Perfect. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yes, it would.
You know, with the new diesel and everything, I'm sure all your other trucks have stacks coming out the back.
Oh, wow.
How about
Yeah.
even make it match with that? And that would just
match
fit
perfect.
this, right?
Yeah.
When Bill brought up the Cummins, I was just totally stoked because it's going from 150 horsepower to the real world.
Just the power of the Cummins and the smoke that's going to come out of the stacks. Can't wait to see it.
Man, you guys know it'd be real cool.
What's that?
You know, of course, wheels and tires, but I know this truck rides horrible, especially with nothing in the tanker, right? It probably bounces the wheels off the ground.
It's pretty bad. This is a difficult truck to drive, as you seen when Larry brought the truck in.
It's old school. It's got air brakes on it. Oh, you're going to come out at 80 years old.
Fine little details that were this small on other projects are now this big. Every part and piece we put on here, you're going to see big time. This gets everybody excited. When you see cool stuff like this come in the shop, you know you're going to get to make it even cooler. That's what we're in business for.
Man, this thing's like a time capsule. I sure it's a handful to drive.
Everything's made out of metal.
This thing's hauled some stuff.
Hey, like the old tanker.
It's cool.
I mean, a lot of stuff we mess with, you don't see every day. But this, I've never seen.
Man, it's clean. It's classic. With this motor, it's smoked.
Right? This is a trucking companies, you know, they take it to parades and just promote business. A cool little toy for them, basically.
No doubt.
It's unique.
But we're going to make it a little cooler.
Why else would it be here?
So, you know,
what you got in mind?
One of the first things we're going to do is take out this engine trans, replace it with the new diesel automatic transmission, tilt column, AC. You know, make it comfortable to drive. New axle, new wheels, new tires, stacks coming out the back.
Right on. That would be cool, man. That'd be a good look.
We definitely got some upgrades going on up here, right?
Yeah, just a few.
Check out the back.
Wow. I get paid by the hour.
Cool stuff, man.
Cutting it in half or what?
No. What you don't see is one of these with air suspension to be able to drop it. Yeah. You know, not sitting all the way flat on the ground, but just so it looks good rolling through the parade.
Cruising down the street like that.
That's
going to be even nice.
And comfortable. Mm-hmm. So we'll just cut front axle out, rear axle, and trailer axle. Smooth the rails, and we're just going to totally start over. We'll build a 4-link on the rear, 4-link on the truck, electric brakes on the back, just like a modern trailer.
Yeah. Keep the retro look, but just do the modern suspension.
Yeah. When it rolls up, man, people are just going to lose their mind. What we'll do is put the truck in one bay and the trailer in the body shop bay, so it's the only place it'll fit, right?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do this. We have to use one of our biggest bays to tear down this tanker. First things first, we gotta lift the cab off the chassis. Even though this truck's huge, it's the same process. Just being extra careful while you do it, because everything on here can squish you.
taking apart old trucks like this because you get to see how far we've come. As far
Rubber in this at all, huh?
No, it was bolted down solid, man.
They're really concerned about driver comfort back then, right?
Not even. So we got everything off the frame now. The cab's up. My only concerns I do have is how heavy this motor is. Fingers crossed, this old forklift right here is gonna yank it on out. What we got going on back here? Sitting on this bracket right here. It's good. Tone. It's hard to believe this truck was driving 2 days ago. Here it is, bare frame now.
We got the tanker completely tore apart. It's down to frame rails. It's not a 18-wheeler, but it's still a ton of weight. So I'm gonna get the chipboard out, put it up against the frame, get a couple of measurements, design a rear hanger which holds the rear suspension to the frame. I got the hangers all laid out for the old tanker.
Oh, that big tanker that just came in?
Yeah. I want these to bolt in the factory hanger spot where the leaf springs used to be. They need to be super strong. So let's burn this out of 5/16 plate.
5/16. All right, got it how Bill wants it laid out, and I'm ready to cut it out. That template Bill gave me, I'm gonna lay it on top of here and just transfer the punches. That way I know the holes will be in the exact same spot. The die has a little small point at the very bottom of it, so all I do is just set it in there.
Just got our saddles back. Everything looks real nice on them. Did a good job. Go ahead and bolt these on. Now that I got the saddles on, we can go ahead and continue with the rear suspension.
As good as this tanker truck when I'm 70. However, not everything looks so good. These axles, they're not gonna work.
What you got here, man?
So this morning I went off to the junkyard, found an old truck, the robbed axle out. Yeah, nice. Exactly what we needed. Check it out, we got the single speed axle with hydraulic disc brakes. This thing is gonna stop good. You know, anybody can get in and drive and not to worry about the air brakes or anything like that.
Man, that's nice. That's definitely what we needed right there for this build.
So I think what we'll do is just slide the bed back, tilt it down so the tire's barely touching the ground. We'll cut the U-bolts.
Okay.
Pick it right back up. I'll go drop this off so it's not in our way.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna get the torch, man, get everything ready.
Yeah. I'll slide the bed back.
All right.
Cut the brake hose bracket. And just cut the brake line back about a foot, like where the cross member. We need off this chassis, I mean, we got the rear axle, rear drive shaft to hook up to this rear end. We even got some emergency brake parts. So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave this loaded up, take it right back to the scrap yard, be out of our way. We only need to replace the axle because the old chassis on the tanker is in good shape. Not that much more. 1, 2. Just as equally important to the hangers were our brackets on the rear end. That's where all the power from the ground transfers to the frame itself. Good thing I got my good welder right here.
Welding something like this, it's really important. There's gonna be a lot of weight. You wanna make sure everything's prepped good.
You have good penetration when you have good prep. Penetration's the next thing. You want to make sure your machine's turned up high enough. You're going to penetrate both pieces of metal. You got good form. You're comfortable. ABC of welding, always be comfortable. When you're comfortable, you're going to weld better.
One of the things I love about the custom game is just the scale of some of our builds. It can change so radically from build to build. On one hand, you got just this massive thing, but then you can go completely to the other end of the spectrum. And I've had this golf cart in my garage for quite some time. Me and the kids will decorate it for Halloween. Make it in kind of like a hayride. The last hayride went haywire. I got about a half a mile around the house, and it totally quits. Man, I'm ready to get this back on the road.
I bet you are.
I've had a couple people work on it over the last year and a half. No luck. Man, appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
See you later.
So a friend of mine was telling me about this golf cart guy, Ryan. Not only gets them running, but he does some crazy stuff to them too. Kind of like we do with cars, he does with golf carts. I hear you're the guy I need to see when it comes to golf carts. That's what they say. Love cruising around the neighborhood with my kids, my wife, but man, it's just been sitting in the corner of my garage for over a year now. Just shot. Something's going on with it, and I'm just super tied up at my shop right now. Oh, I bet. I'd love to just give it to you, and you get it running for me, man.
Well, we can definitely get you fixed up. You brought it to the right place. I'm one of the 3 owners of Golf Carts Modified. Been doing golf carts for about 7 or 8 years now. Started out as a hobby, turned into a business. Say more. I mean, everybody drives them on the street, takes them to the beach, they go camping. I don't even own a set of golf clubs. I got 9 golf carts and no clubs. We make these things fast, make them loud, race them.
You race them?
Oh yeah, man, they're fast. Especially electric ones. I mean, we got one electric one that'll do 70 miles an hour. I mean, it gets a little sketchy at 70. Yeah. That car belongs to a 13-year-old girl. Runs 40 miles an hour, and it'll pop a 3-foot wheelie for about 60 yards.
Now you're talking, man. Ryan's telling me this thing could possibly do a wheelie and haul ass. You know, I'm hearing all this, and this is something I'm really interested in. You get me excited on this, man. I was just coming here just to get it going, but you can do something like that with this.
We do what you do, just on a smaller scale. You want to go crazy? We'll go crazy. Let's check out what you got, man. 36-volt series cart. Oldie but a goodie. I mean, we can definitely upgrade this. Bill has pretty common golf cart. He's got an EasyGo TXT. We like working on a TXT because they have a steel chassis. They're much easier to customize. You can do a lot more with them. And nowadays with powder coating, you can make them last just as long as any aluminum frame cart. What we can do is we can get rid of all these heavy lead acid batteries, go back in with a lithium, jump voltage. We can go all the way from 48 all the way up to 72, cut half the weight, and add double the power.
Dang, and that's what makes you do a wheelie or what?
That's step 1. You also got to add a motor and controller. If you want to roll fat, AC stuff is the way to go now. It's instant torque. It's the most efficient system you can buy. Think about your big electric cars. All of that stuff's AC. You're pretty much building a miniature electric car.
I love it, man. I love it.
You know, Bill, if we're going to be into it, man, we probably should upgrade that suspension. You don't want to be coming down on that thing after a 3-foot wheelie. We can add some coilovers to it, put a long travel on it, make it really ride nice.
Man, Ron, I'm usually the one selling suspension, so I definitely know what you're talking about. We got to have that.
Yes, sir. You know, and if we're going to do that, make it look cool, might as well go ahead and throw on a new set of wheels and tires and really just change the whole look of the car. They're not bad, but if we're going to go all out, we might as well go all out.
Yeah, so much for just dropping it off and getting it fixed, huh?
Oh, no, we're going to fix it. It's getting fixed. It's just going to get upgraded a little bit.
All right.
This thing's been through some better days.
You know, I came in looking for not even a little upgrade, just get it running right, make it reliable.
It's been in several places. Looks like he's had some fun with it.
I just want to go around the neighborhood with the kids. But after talking to Ryan, him, kind of sell me on a couple things.
Just pick that bad boy up.
I'm really getting excited about going all in on this golf cart.
And we will be keeping that part. Old school lead acid. A big thing with lead acid batteries, they have to be constantly filled with water. And if you live somewhere in the south like we do, these things are always evaporating water. These batteries weigh 59 pounds a piece. So we're shaving 200 pounds out of the cart. I'm not going to have to go to the gym today. Yeah, that one's seen some better days.
pretty much down to bare metal. The only thing left to do is remove the rear axle and the front axle and get ready for powder coat. Boom!
That is 7 7/8.
We got the 4-link done on the 53 tanker. Took off all the old leaf springs and we're replacing it with a big air spring. You can't ride on anything better than air. What we're going to do is start off making our upper bag mount, and then once that's located, we can put our lower bag mounts in place right up to it.
So it looks pretty center from your angle back behind me?
Yes, sir.
Center of our bag mount right there.
On this particular suspension, we're going to put the big airbag up on top. We've been doing air suspension since 1994. Each vehicle you learn from, so this is going to be the latest and the greatest. With all that extra weight that's going to be on the back, we just put a piece of 2x2 across on the inside of the frame that holds the weight, keeps it straight. We're using this piece of 2x3 box tubing just to simulate the bag fully compressed. So when all the air is out, that's how big the bag is. It's 3 inches.
It's pretty nice.
So we got our simulated bag compressed here, our lower bag mount. So we're just going to make the brackets from the bag mount to the axle. Push the back.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yes, sir. Oh. We're looking good. Hangers are on. 4 links on. Now we got the bag mounts all mocked up. My man Jamie's gonna put some weld on it, then we'll let it down, move down to the pan hard bar shock mounts, and the rear suspension's wrapped. Hey, one little last puzzle piece of our rear suspension is the pan hard bar. Since we don't have leaf springs anymore, we have a 4-link. So the pan hard bar is that solid point from the frame down to the axle and locates everything nice and center and keeps it really, really strong for cornering.
Okay, last piece of the puzzle right here. Ta-da!
Let's go up and down real quick and we'll check it out. Man, Jaime, it's looking good. I don't foresee any issues with this.
Yeah, man, this suspension's definitely going to be a lot better than those leaf springs. Handle, work, and have a good ride.
Definitely. On a really big truck like this tanker, the airbags are a no-brainer. It just gives you a way better ride. However, on my golf cart, it's an entirely different setup. Because this golf cart's going to be really fast and able to do wheelies, we're going to go with coilovers in the front. So when it comes down from the wheelie, it absorbs all that weight and that bounce.
You want to spin it around?
Ryan's bringing his team down from the East Coast to help put it all together.
We got a call from Ryan or Bill at Extensive. You know, my first immediate response was that this is fake, like someone has called you messing with you. Bill did not just cold call us and to talk about a golf cart.
Once we found out that the build was a go, we laid out a game plan to make this trip to Houston.
20 hours later, 2 truck breakdowns. We're in Houston. We're ready to start working on this golf cart.
We just got the frame back for powder coating. First thing we're going to tackle is the front and rear suspension. One of us will be working in the back, one of us will be working up front. That way we can get everything going from the ground up. Building a golf cart is not much different than building a car. You want to start off with a good frame. You got to get your suspension set right and make sure that you have a good stance. You always want to make sure everything's safe before you take off on these things.
We're about to assemble this long travel suspension for the front end. It's just going to make the car ride better, have better articulation on the suspension. This build's a big deal to us, and we're putting a lot of effort into it because when you get a call from a client like Bill, I mean, he's a legend. It's an honor to get the opportunity to build something for him. I know he wants the best of the best, and that's what we're going to give him.
This car comes factory with leaf springs and a solid axle across the front. So when you swap over to a long travel, it gives you 8 inches of adjustability for gives you more rebound for
this particular cart, we're going to go with a 70-volt lithium battery. It's going to give this car incredible torque, so it will lift the wheels off the ground. So these coilovers will help with the rebound as the cart comes back to the ground. This just all around is a much nicer design than the original equipment that came on the cart.
So similar to a truck, we're going to do the rear lift on this. We're going to use a 6-inch lift block in the back. With a heavy-duty spring, this is going to give us clearance. That way we can shove those massive tires up underneath the body.
You know, over the years, Extensive's done our share of engine swaps. The one thing that we haven't done yet is go electric. So Ryan's saying the lithium setup that we're going with is going to be putting a ton of torque to those rear wheels. This cart's going to be able to wheelie. You know, I can't wait to see this.
Let's talk about the muscle in this cart. We're going to be installing a 5 kilowatt AC motor and controller and 75 pounds of muscle. So this is a 3-phase electric motor. These are way more efficient than a DC. They actually get a lot better range too, especially paired with a lithium battery. Most golf carts have 3 bolts holding the motor on. Because this one makes so much torque, we're going to be adding 6 volts to this total. That way we make sure we don't snap anything off when Bill goes to pop a wheelie in this.
All right, so for this build, it started out with 36 volts of lead acid batteries, which is very old school. We decided to go to a lithium battery setup, and we chose the 70.4 volt eco battery. One huge advantage to run a lithium setup is weight. Lead acid batteries are roughly 50 pounds apiece. This battery is about 125 pounds total. That is a huge advantage, and then you're almost doubling your voltage. So way less weight, way more power.
So you ready to grab that big boy?
Yep. Bigger is better.
You are in Texas.
It's secure.
Well, now that we got the battery all installed, we get everything wired up. One of the main reasons we build cables is because we can custom create links for everybody. That way we can shorten on resistance and heat. Cables are all your power to your motor and controller. If you don't have good cables, you might as well not have anything at all. So the very first thing we're going to be hooking up is our small cable. This is going to be running from our solenoid output over to the controller. And the very next thing we're going to do is start running motor wires.
All right, we got the power hooked up, ground's hooked up.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna hook this one up, and then we will see if we are completely wired and ready for juice. All right, I'm powering it on.
Let me do this.
If it beeps, we're good. All right, we got power.
We're making an independent front suspension and a 4-link rear suspension on that 53 tanker truck. You know, we got the rear all mocked up. Now it's time to get on to the front. So we got our cross member established, the height that it needs to be. We got our wheel tire all mocked up. Look at that, boy! All we're gonna do is come from pushing to the ball joint, and there's our mocked up slow control arms. That's that. Man, we got a long, good stuff. You know, we got everything mocked up. This is exactly the size that it needs to be for everything to play nice. So we need to get going on building the lower arm. Well, you can cut some pipe.
Alright, we're going with the 1-inch schedule 80 or?
Man, I'm taking 1 1/4 inch. We're gonna make it all out of 1 1/4 inch schedule 80. So everything's nice and strong.
Ooh, first time on the machine. I'm so excited.
Real advantage with this that the arm is really, really long in this setup, so we have plenty of room for a big airbag to handle all that weight. All right, we got our lower control arm on. We got our spindle in place. We got our frame nice and level. We got our measurement from the upper ball joint all the way to where it needs to land on the frame. So I'm going to take that measurement and just make an upper control arm. That's it, man. 4 M's. I love jobs like this. This is what, but it makes it fun. You know, when jobs like this come about, it's not repetitious. Yeah. That, you know, it has a set goal and there's no specific way to get there. That's what I love doing. One down. This is going to locate the top part of the spindle so it holds everything in place. Yeah. Go down and up a couple times. Let's see what it's looking like. Perfect. That's exactly what we want. You know, that nice, perfect alignment. All the way up and all the way down. I can't stand when people drop the air out of the suspension and the wheels go, yeah, can't have that. No. It takes time to make that perfect. Definitely. You know, as a fabricator, I'm pretty much known as a control freak. I try to keep my eye on everything all of the time. Ryan, what's happening, man?
I'm just sitting here working on your car.
That's just the same when things aren't at the shop.
Got the new powder-coated long travel kit on. Everything's installed. It's coming together real nicely.
Nice, man. That gets me excited. I'm ready to do some wheelies in it.
Man, I can't wait to see y'all do some wheelies. I think it's going to really surprise you.
Yeah.
Hey, while I have you on the phone here, let's talk about the body, man. This one that you have is nice, but it's a little outdated. I was thinking maybe we could go with the new store body. This is going to give this car a much more edgy look. It's street legal, high beam, low beam headlights.
Ryan, man, come on. It's just a golf cart.
It's never just a car, man. This is a representation of yourself. You can't just give you a stock looking golf cart. You know what's better than doing wheelies? Looking good while you're doing wheelies.
I can't really disagree with that, can I?
While we're talking about that, though, if we could do the body, we should probably go ahead and put a custom interior in this full custom dash, maybe throw in some lighting, custom seats, really take this thing next level.
I see your point. You know, I've done my share of pushing the customers to go a little bit bigger on their builds. If we're going to do the new body, man, we might as well, right?
That's what I'm talking about.
And man, once you're on the other side of it, you know, it's kind of hard to say no. Go ahead and get me hooked up on it then, man. I'm anxious to see what you guys can do.
Yes, sir. We're on it.
All right. Talk to you later. Man, he got me on that one. His template for the bag mount real quick so Jessica keeps making them. You know, we always try to measure twice, cut once. That's even more true with the size of everything on this old tanker, not to mention the price of metal these days. We're just wrapping up the front suspension now. I love this, the instant gratification of just things coming together quick. The next step's going to be placing our airbag. So we got our upper bag mounts. We got our 3-inch spacers simulating a compressed bag. We got our suspension bottom totally out. So this is where the suspension needs to be when there's no air in it. So all we need to do, put the bag mount in place, weld it in place with a couple of gussets, bag mounts a wrap. So we're on the last part of our front suspension shop. What I'm doing right now is making the upper shock mounts. It's going to be a 3-piece deal. 1 piece with my shock's going to go through. Then I'm going to have 2 gussets on each side. Once it's boxed in, it's going to be there forever. I'm just transferring this pattern to my flat bar. Once I get these cut out, I'll be able to assemble the upper shock mount. I'm going to go ahead and sand it, give it that nice slick look, and I'll clean it up some, just go that extra little bit to make it look nice. You can see the before and after. This is fine. Most people would, you know, just let it be.
Not here. We got an extra little step, get everything nice, clean, cool looking. Anybody can do this. Not everybody thinks about doing this. It's gotta go up there. It's the same to me. We gotta take the cutters off. Alright, we gotta take the cutters off.
Yeah. Chin on the 53 tanker. We're ready to drop in that big old diesel engine.
Just try to be easy across that little lip right there, because we don't got nothing to balance it.
This 12 valve is a lot bigger than that inline 6 the old truck rolled in with. So there's not much room to maneuver, even on a truck this size.
We're good right there, Ryan.
That motor and transmission is like 5 foot long. No, I think it's even longer than 5 feet.
Alright, come on in.
That's the longest combo I ever put it in.
Good. What's up?
On the builds that are physically as big as this thing, every step is just that much more consequential.
You don't want to have that all in a bind right there. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a little trimming. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do, right?
We need to get this big old engine mounted, modified, and running.
Alright, bring it down a little bit.
There's still a lot of fabrication, including the custom stacks, an interior, and audio. And man, we hadn't even touched that trailer yet.
It's level? Level. Heck yeah. Alright.
It's a long road, but it's gonna be worth it.
It looks really good right there.
It does look good. It looks right.
One of the cool things about custom is that anything can be custom. The team is ready to install the new body kit.
Fits like a glove.
Nice and flush. Looks good. It's definitely gonna be mean.
All right, give me a hand with this. This is not a production dash. This is a one-off dash. It's wrapped in the exact same material as his seats are. This is gonna look really good once it's wired and everything is lit up.
Is it bad that I'm jealous? I don't even have a dash that clean.
You know, it's real cool to get the big builds in, you know, the ones that just command your attention. When you pull up somewhere in just a massive vehicle, everybody is looking to see what the heck is going on. Who's pulling up in here in that big old truck? Every vehicle's different in the design process, you know, whatever the scale is. You attack each and every project individually, but everything about a big build is just bigger. You got to really watch what's going on. All the wrenches are bigger, all the nuts and bolts are bigger, you know, the wheels and tires are bigger. Just everything is not only bigger, but it's heavier also. You know, those are the builds that I just love the most because be different. To have that personality come out, to have that coolness factor magnified on a huge scale. We're transforming those from something that's really nothing into something that's show-stopping. When you're doing an extra large build, that's just extra ways to make it extra cool. You know, a few weeks ago, my golf cart wouldn't even run. But it's come a long way. Everything is coming together. The lithium batteries, a new bigger motor, seating, handmade dash, lighting, audio, and a custom body kit. And today's a big day. Ryan's gonna drop it off at my house.
When Bill brought this cart in, it was old, it was outdated, it was underpowered. We changed all that. It's been a lot of work, it's been a lot of fun, lots of hours, but I'm really excited. This cart has turned out awesome. Hopefully when he comes out and sees this, he'll be blown away.
Ryan called me, told me to come outside, and then I see it doing a wheelie. What? Man!
believe it did that. Man, that is cool. Man, that looks so good. What's up, man?
What's going on, man?
That thing looks beautiful. That's the same one, right?
That's the same car, man.
Everywhere I look, there's something brand new on it. I can't believe it's got that much power to... You in it doing a wheelie?
That's a lot of weight to go up in the air, baby.
Man, I tell you what, this gets me excited. A golf cart doing a wheelie, that ain't something you see every day. And then just the total transformation of, new body, new wheels, tires, the lift, it looks good. This thing is cool, man.
Man, I'm glad you like it.
I like every bit of it. Tell me, what'd you do to this?
Man, what did we not do to this? We took this thing down to the frame. It's all brand new. Had everything powder coated. Started with new suspension.
Yeah.
Double A-arm with coilover. It's going to give it a much softer ride.
Yeah.
Especially when it's coming up in the air and slamming down. You don't want to be sitting on spindles, man.
I definitely wasn't expecting that. Have long travel with coilovers on the front of my golf cart. Love the stance of, man, the wheel track and everything. Just the way
on 23s, we decided to go ahead and bump it up and get you a little higher, put some 25s on it. We did space the wheels out about 2 inches with that lift. We also widened the back, make it a little bit more stable. It's going to ride a little bit better, have a little bit more tire on the ground. It's definitely going to be the meanest one in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
This is the new storm body. This is the gunmetal metallic. We wanted something that was going to pop against the aluminum powder coat that we did on the suspension and frame.
I love the color of it.
This has a full street legal kit in it. You got running lights, turn signals, horn, hazard light. This can make you street legal in Texas so that y'all can ride this on the street.
Man, the kids are going to love this one. I didn't know how bad my old golf cart was looking, but now the new body's on it, it looks like it just rolled off the assembly line. Man!
Well, it had to look just as good on the inside as the outside.
This is cool, man.
We got you a brand new set of FS2 seats. These are super comfortable. We went ahead and had them bolstered. That way to hold you in place when you're popping wheelies. We had to transition down to the floor. Got you a new floor mat. And then that way we can come back up into the custom-made dash. You're the only one on the planet that has that dash.
So this ain't something you buy?
No, sir. That is custom-made. Nobody else is going to have that. That's a light, man. Hey, if you're riding at night, you got to be able to see, bro.
Ooh, that looks good.
Hey, not very many golf carts have interior lights, so that's pretty cool.
That looks good, man. I see. Tell me what's underneath here.
This is where the magic happens, bro. That is a big 70-volt, 105-amp-hour battery. That is not your normal lead acid. We cut half the weight of the old batteries out and doubled the power.
Man!
This is one big contained lithium kit. This is what's going to put the power down to the new motor and controller. This thing puts down massive amounts of torque and produces speeds up to 30 miles an hour with normal batteries. But with Bill's battery, we'll achieve speeds up to 50.
Man, I'm blown away, Ryan. Man, it looks cool. Normally, I get to give a customer their car back. I'm not used to, coming outside and really getting excited like this. Man, you guys killed it on it, man. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome, man. I hope y'all enjoy it.
Definitely. Man, I'm gonna go get the kids, man. They gotta come see this.
We all have fun.
Appreciate it. My cart was just sitting in my garage for the last couple of years, just broke down.
Whoa, is this the old golf cart?
Same one. You believe that?
We go for a ride?
Let's go. I'm glad I was able to take it to Ryan. Ready?
Queasy.
And him just transforming this whole cart. Golf Carts Modified, they just came in, stepped up, and just built me a hell of a cart. Ride's good, huh? All right, Cleve, come on. Come on, Cleve. Me and the family's in a lot of good times in this cart. About time we get our golf cart back, huh?